Am I the asshole for calling my husband him? When speaking to my son? My husband was sitting in an adjacent room of the house, and my son was asking me if I could take him to the store to buy something. I told my son to go ask him, motioning to my husband in the other room because I was busy. My husband got very upset that I used the pronoun him, and said it was very disrespectful towards him as my son's father for me to not refer to him as your father. Am I the asshole? I don't feel like it was wrong, but maybe I just don't understand from a man's perspective. I don't think you are the asshole, but in my home specifically it would be considered rude to use him or her instead of someone's name when either they can hear you or they haven't been previously identified in the conversation. So is Dad free? I don't know, go and ask him is fine, but can someone drive me? Go and ask him is rude. It might have been how he was raised versus how you were raised, that he sees what you did as rude. AITA nah. Not the asshole. Some people are so weird about this. Pronouns are not offensive. Many people are raised to believe that it is rude to gesture and use pronouns when the person you're referring to is within earshot, e.g., if I motion towards Aunt Sylvia and say her, instead of not motioning and saying Sylvia, or your/our/my aunt. While I think your husband is silly to get very upset, I don't think it's about being a man. I believe it is probably just a difference in beliefs about politeness. However, I's even more rude to get very upset at someone who has made a simple faux pas, so he's not in the right here. Not the asshole. If you had said go ask that mother for over there, yeah, maybe he would have had a point. I was going to say not the asshole, but then realized my husband and I tell our kids to talk to the other one all the time, and it would be super weird and actually sound rude to just say go ask him, or go ask her, out of the blue, without saying your dad or your mom first in the conversation. So I have to say he is not wrong. If this was the first thing you said to your child, and you weren't already talking them about your husband, I can see his point of view. It is weird. Oh, he's making up an excuse to fight. Something else is going on. I've seen this movie a million times. Am I the asshole for telling my sister she couldn't use my car to take her kids to my niece's birthday party? My family and I live together, and I finally decided to buy my own vehicle about a month ago. This way, I'm not constantly asking my mom or uncle to use theirs to go to drill or work. The day I got it, my sister asked if she could use it whenever she has to take all 4 of her kids somewhere. I told her I didn't mind, as long as she cleaned up after them and returned it with at least the same amount of gas as when she left the house. So far, every time she has used it, she hasn't done either. She always guilt trips me when I tell her she's no longer allowed to use it. Last night, we got into an argument because I told her that I might have to leave for work while we were there, and she threw a fit over it. This morning, I asked her if she was paying for the entertainment for everyone at the party, and she said she was only paying for the kids. I didn't want to deal with the pushback, so I told our mom to tell her that if I wasn't going to be compensated for the 70 miles of gas she was going to be burning in my car, which I need for work, then she isn't going to be allowed to use my car. So now, I am not going to the party, nor is she using my car, so am I the asshole? Not the asshole. If she can't do the basics of borrowing someone's car, then she shouldn't be borrowing people's cars. People always want to call others selfish about things that aren't theirs. Wait, so your sister lives with you, and your parents with 4 kids? With no car, and seems like the father isn't involved either? No. Not the asshole. I told you the deal. You refused to respect any part of it, or keep your word, so no. I do not trust you to use my car, and you won't be using it. Anybody in the family that has anything else to say can start by ponying up their own car, or STFU. Not the asshole. How does your sister have 4 children and no car? Tell your parents to let sister use their car. Your car, which you bought and paid for, is off limits. I do it with my kids when they use my car. Put gas in it, and keep it clean, or call a friend for a ride. If you can't be respectful of my property, then don't use my property. Not the asshole, but if it really is your car, all you should have to say is no. You set the rules, clean up, refill the tank, and she failed to honor your wishes. Now act like a car owner, and don't ask your parent to tell her anything about your car use or not. Tell her directly yourself. Not the asshole. She managed to get her children places month before last when you didn't own a car. She still remembers how. Am I the asshole for not paying house utilities until I get the receipts? I'm 21 and still new to living life outside of college. Last month I asked my housemate if he could send me the utility bill statements before I pay him over Venmo. I got the idea from my grandma, who said I should have receipts for everything I buy, so I wanted to give that a try. So I get the Venmo for the bill, and there is no statement, and I think maybe he just forgot. This seems like a reasonable excuse since I did ask him over a month ago. So I DM him, please send receipts for the bills so I can pay you thumbs up, and I get no response. I think that's weird, so the next day I message him the same thing, and I get no response. Yesterday I tried calling him on Messenger, Discord, and over the phone and got no response. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay bills when I don't see the bill statement? Or is asking to see the bill statement something that I should have been doing from the beginning, and now it's coming back to bite me? Side note, I did ask him for the bill statements back in September, and he seemed angry about it, but let me have them. Does asking to see statements make people upset? When I sent him the internet statement, I didn't feel upset. Is that normal? He hasn't responded to me for 2 weeks now, and this is the second or third time he left without a word. Not the asshole. Just wondering though why you don't just go and talk to him if you're living in the same house? Not the asshole. Asking to see the actual bills before you send money is normal adulting, not a federal investigation. If he's legit, it should take him 30 seconds to send screenshots. The fact that he's dodging you and going radio silent is a much bigger red flag than you wanting receipts. Don't pay a cent until you see the statements. Have you considered going over to the couch and just speaking to him? Not the asshole. It's not that you are not paying. You just want to confirm what you are paying for, and why is your housemate getting defensive over that? Obviously he's overcharging you, or why else would he not share copies of the actual bills? Don't pay him a penny until you see the bill from now on. Not the asshole for asking to see the bills. That's totally normal and reasonable. Being transparent keeps things fair, and your roommate should be willing to show you receipts, just like you did for the internet. If anything, it's a red flag if someone refuses to show proof or gets mad about it. AITA for purchasing my wedding dress without my mom. AITA for buying my wedding dress without my mom. I, 35F, had my aunt in town to do a late birthday celebration. We decided to go look at wedding dresses and had planned it out 3 weeks in advance. Side note is this is my second wedding as well as my fiancé's. It's going to be very small. I'm plus-sized and my mom is tiny like a size 2 and very judgmental about my body and clothes. Regardless, I've tried to include or keep her updated with wedding plans as we make them, but she's kind of been a downer on everything from colors to location to invite list. Anyways, regardless of everything, I invited my mom right away to join us, as I felt most moms would want to be there to pick out the dress, and she declined. 2 weeks out I invited my mom again she declines. A week out I invite her again, and you guessed it, she declines. This proceeded to occur all the way up to the night before. Week of, I invited her no less than 7 times, and her reasoning for declining ranged from, you never know what will happen. Your wedding isn't till next year, less than 11 months. To, oh I have plans at 3 so I don't think I'll make it in time. First appointment was at 10 a.m. and 45 minutes away from her house. Mom calls me the night before and says just don't buy anything. I informed her I'm not making that promise, as if I find the perfect dress, I'll go ahead and get it. I ask her one last time, and she declines the invitation again. So my aunt and I go to the first appointment and find the dress. Yes, I tried on about 30 in various styles, materials, etc., but loved this one. It was double my budget, but the shop decided to give it to me half off because they were just so nice and my aunt decided to pay for it, and all the accessories as a surprise. I said we should at least FaceTime my mom and show it to her. We did and she was like, keep it as an option but ick. My aunt jumped in and said, no, we're informing you this is the dress we purchased and thought you'd like to see it. Now my mom's upset I didn't take her with me to see the dress first. She's also jealous I took my aunt, from out of state, to see the venue. Keep in mind we've had this venue booked for nearly a year, and my parents live less than an hour from it, and have declined every invite thus far. So AITA for not waiting to buy my wedding dress before my mom could come see it in person? I think you might need to stop including your mother. You spent most of the time, you should have been excited about looking for a dress following up with someone who is not only acting disinterested, but trying to rain on your parade. I think this is a one invite, and more of a telling her you are doing this, and then keep it moving. I am sorry your mom is being annoying, but I am glad you got your dress at half price, and your aunt was able to cover it. I'd recommend at the actual wedding you have your aunt help you dress and get ready, instead of mom, if you want to walk down the aisle happy and with confidence. Not the asshole. I'm really happy you had a great experience. It seems like it is time to inform your mother that this wedding is happening. It is not optional. She cannot delay or stall to make it not happen. You will be pursuing your happiness, regardless of her opinions on it, and she can either get on board and be happy and involved or step out of your way, but you will not be placating her in whatever tantrum she is going through. Not the asshole. Stop trying. It's clear your mom isn't interested. I am guessing there is some history there. Rely on your aunt. Sometimes people aren't close to their moms. But you need to let it be. It will only hurt you. Not the asshole, but is there some kind of history with your mom where she said no to something and then was mad when you didn't include her? Otherwise, I don't understand why you'd invite someone so many times. The first no should be it. Maybe tell her when the appointment is and that she is welcome to join if it works for her, but asking over and over again seems weird. If you accept the first no, she'll have to learn that she needs to show up if she wants to be a part of something. Not the asshole. I'm so glad you have a mother figure who loves you as you are.